Hope you're doing great. Hope you're off to a good week. I want to kick off week number 2, just give you a real brief overview of what to expect for the week as we move forward. So, week 2 is in the text and kind of broadly spoken of as strategic marketing planning. Now, the planning process we could spend a whole term talking about the different elements of a marketing plan and the scope of a plan and some elements like that. The text, however, picks and chooses a few key concepts I think that are important to expand upon and to talk a little bit about. Part of the elements here deal with the purpose, the mission of the organization. It stretches into the strategic direction that the firm is going to go into, understanding what businesses to be in, and so on and so forth. Different components of strategy planning are discussed in the text as well, which I think are important to think about as well. And you can kind of just take a look at what you should know here, the elements that are in the textbook, and they focus on purpose, objectives, and the planning structure to help organizations codify what that's going to be. Now, in this week, there are a couple things that I want to expand on, though. When you talk about mission and talk about firm purpose, there's a big area of marketing that's called cause and social marketing. It's very, very popular. It's very much growing in significance, and it very much has an influence on how organizations operate, but also how organizations react to and engage with consumers. And it's, again, in a social space. So it's been popularized, the whole concept, over the last, I don't know, 8 to 10 to 12 years maybe. It's been growing in popularity to the extent in which today many companies are under a lot of pressure to demonstrate a social purpose or social profit motive, if you will, as opposed to a financial one that they've never faced in the history of business ever before. So it's a big, important space that I think is worth talking about. In fact, our reflection this week deals exactly with this topic. Another thing that is thrown into this chapter in terms of planning process and strategy is something called product portfolio analysis. And this is actually not a very small area either. It's really a big area to be put into this chapter. And so I spent a lot of time this week talking a lot about that as well. The Boston Consulting Group BCG Growth Share Matrix is something, if you've had a Principles of Marketing class, you're familiar with the types of products that are called dogs and cash cows and stars and question marks. Well, that falls into this space. That's a tool that is and can be used to help a company plan its portfolio or its group of products that they offer. So that's a real important kind of video to watch and ideas to think about when we're looking about growth. So I want to highlight those things that you should be doing this week. The supplemental reading, they're largely in the reflection that you're going to see. The reflection or the discussion forum that we have this week deals with social and cause-related marketing. So there's an overview that's really, really worth your read if you're not familiar at all with this concept. There are some other examples. Barilla Pasta, that should say pasta there, and Patagonia are two really good illustrations of that. The cannibalize your own products and with just words, 8 words piece with Steve Jobs, deal with this idea of managing your portfolio of products, and kind of and reading those two pieces with the video on portfolio analysis would be really, really good. I want you to do that. Okay, so again, we have a reflection this week, which you'll read about, and if you want to pause the video and read kind of its prompt here, you can do that. Basically, what we want to think about is this idea of financial versus social value, and what should a company do? What should a company deliver to its stakeholders? Stakeholders could be owners, employees, society as a whole, suppliers, anybody relating to the company who has a benefit and is kind of a stakeholder. And different stakeholders expect different value to be delivered from the company. And so largely in the past, this has been, and still today, it is focused on financial profits, which you can't do away with, no matter how socially minded you are. You have to have a financial motive for a company to exist, period. They don't exist otherwise. People who don't understand that don't understand market-based economies. They just don't. But the role of social value is clearly on the forefront of most companies and many consumers and many other stakeholders. So that's where the root of this question is noted. Other things. There's a supplemental cause marketing chapter that's actually from a book. It's a chapter by Kotler and Anderson that, again, it's supplemental if you wanted to read it, or it's an additional reading if you wanted to know more about this area and were an eager learner that way, then that might help support that as well. Two other things we do this week, which I want to just mention. One is we introduce the project, and you're all in a project team, and we use Microsoft Teams to help organize that. So make sure you're aware of Microsoft Teams and also the group that you're in. Number two, I have posted, or I will post if it's not posted quite yet, the first case and case analysis, which is due, I believe, on the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not this week, but it's going to be the week after that it'll be due. And there'll be a video that will go along with case and case studies. So that will be forthcoming. But that's something just to put on your horizon and in your window of kind of things to do and look forward to as we move forward from this material and from this week. All right, so let me know if you have any questions. I know this is just a short, quick overview of week number 2, what we're doing and kind of why we're doing it. Hope you're having a great experience with this. Let me know if you have any issues or questions. I'm always eager to help and be here for you. Thanks.